Hi, everyone. My name is Oliver Tan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ViSenze. Today, I'd like to share with you our analysis on the impact of COVID-19 on consumer spending and how does the retail in a post-COVID world look like. This is the content that we will share with you. Impact of COVID-19 on retail, some of the changes in consumer behavior that we've observed and the implications on retail, our views on the new normal in retail itself and what retailers need to do to adapt to it. And how can AI tech solutions fundamentally help retailers adapt to this new normal situation? Before that, a bit about ViSenze. We are an AI company specialized in computer vision with 100% focus on retail and e-commerce. Originally spun off from the National University of Singapore, we have offices in Seattle, Dublin, Beijing, Tokyo, and Singapore as our headquarters. We run two lines of business. Our retail SaaS solutions are used by retailers, brands, and marketplaces like Rakuten, Uniqlo, and Urban Outfitters, just to name a few. We also operate one of the world's largest shopping lens network of more than 800 merchants with 400 million products across the world. Our shopping lens are natively embedded into 5 major OEMs, generating more than 500 million queries a month, predominantly across Asia Pacific. 2020 has been a very, very challenging year so far for retailers. And Forrester estimated that 2020 global loss in retail sector will be more than $2.1 trillion. And it will take approximately 4 years to recover back to pre-pandemic levels. Now, retailers will continue to face growth constraints, with a lot of offline retailers predicting heavy losses in 2020. Many will assume that their growth in online sales will not be enough to offset the lost sales from store closures. But there are ways that retailers and brands can do something to recover or at least offset these losses by understanding what has fundamentally changed and using smart tools to help them gain back their share of wallet. Now, because of our first-party shopping lens data from sellers across Asia, we had a very early view of what's happening in Asia, particularly in China as early as January 2020, when we could see the early impact and early changes starting with the lockdown in Wuhan on the 23rd of January. What we saw were an immediate decline in all non-essential categories, while essential categories like health products and essential products like laptops, because when you have a household of 8 people, you need laptops, and certainly one laptop couldn't be shared among 8 people. Kitchenware also experienced some of the largest increases. But as we move into March, especially towards the tail end of March, which represented 2 months of lockdown across China, online buying behavior for non-essential categories started to recover, we observed. Now, interestingly enough, we saw footwear and sportswear experiencing the largest increase on our network. And I think we can all guess the reason why. Too much lockdowns without any physical exercise, probably the main reason. Now, if you're interested to learn more about our COVID-19 impact report, you can scan the QR code and you can download the report from there. Next, let's look at the changes in consumer behavior and implications on retail. Now, Deloitte did a survey recently on consumer sentiments and their attitudes across APAC. And what they found were, number one, despite pockets of reopening, net consumer optimism has actually decreased. But most consumers continue to expect a long-lasting impact. Now, as incomes have declined, consumers are still spending on essentials, but not discretionary categories, with exceptions in South Korea and China. Now, consumers are shifting to online and digital solutions as well, as reduced contact channels to get goods and services are less available. Number 5, 3 purchase drivers stood out primarily. 34% stressed on prices as the fundamental driver. 30% stressed on delivery services, and lastly, 56% stressed on safety as being the primary purchase driver in their behavior. Now let's look at the evidence. 35% of all UK online purchases during lockdowns were made via Amazon during lockdown, an increase of 30% since December 2019. Now, half of all the apparels and textiles and footwear sales in UK were transacted online in May. Indian, Chinese, and South African consumers are most likely to prioritize luxury shopping after lockdown has lifted. Now, as China returned to the new normal, its behavioral shift to online shopping continues. In fact, from January to April, retail sales fell by 16% year on year, but online sales rose from 8.6% to $360 billion. In June, where JD conducted its annual 618 event, JD reported an 18-day GMV sales of $38 billion, up 33.6% from 2019, while Tmall GMV reached $99 billion. Now, these are irrefutable evidence showing how consumer behavior have changed, and most of the transactions has moved from offline to online platforms. Let's look at the evidence further. More than 500 million Chinese consumers today now live stream content in March 2020 versus 165 million people or live streamers in December 2018. Now, the three main dominant platforms, WeChat, Douyin, Red, accounts for nearly 30% of all live stream content, outperforming sports broadcasting and live concerts. And that's just primarily focusing on e-commerce. Now, online giants are also doubling down. Shopify relaunched their sellers program. Google relaunched its organic free product listings. Actually, previously, Google displayed sponsored product ads in knowledge panels, but these will now be replaced with free listings going forward. Now, the move comes after a similar announcement in April, which saw Google bring free listings back to its shopping tab. And also, Facebook introduced shops with AI tools. Now, this is actually very interesting because it makes it easy for merchants and sellers to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Brands are the converted. Now, this statement by the Nike CFO, Matt Friend, says it all. A digitally connected Nike is a more valuable Nike, and brands themselves are the first to move off its mark to utilize online platforms as the primary means of engagement during COVID-19. Now, 9 out of 10 shoppers are now concerned about going back to the stores, and even if the stores are reopened. 40% are avoiding or limiting the frequency of store visits. 62% will spend money if they are only assured of in-store safety measures. And lastly, more than 68% of brands and retailers are accelerating plans to deploy more machine learning and other technology solutions. Let's look at the means and ways of adapting to the new normal in retail. Let's look at a new reality first. Store reopening is fundamentally different in every way going forward because safety is the number one concern for all shoppers. How do you keep your customers and store associates safe while playing a role in consumer lives? Can stores offer online ways for consumers to search against the store inventory while in the store or even before coming to the store? Number two, customer values and behavior have likely changed or shifted. So what are these changes? For instance, if they are concerned about touching products on the shelves, can stores offer virtual tryouts and sampling instead? Number three, stores will play a different role in the customer journey, and they will likely to play a very different role in many respects. Retailers should think about stores in an omni-channel world and thinking of stores as only part of the customer journey and not the end destination, because consumers would want to be able to shop in any form and in any shape and on any platform that he or she chooses. And number four, very important to emphasize the omni-channel customer experience. Because if stores become only one part of the customer journey and not the destination itself, retailers need to lay tracks while the train is moving. That means immediate store safety measures, offer the online deliveries for online orders, or offer other pickup solutions as part of their omni-channel customer experience. There are different tech solutions to consider in adapting to the new normal. Number one, AR, VR, and 3D solutions offer virtual sampling and showrooming. How do you bring stores to the shoppers if you can't bring shoppers to the stores? The answer is virtual product sampling, virtual showrooms, and even virtual malls. These technologies have additional advantages. Now, Nelson data showed that more than 51% of global consumers are willing to try AR and VR products, AR and VR technology to assess products and services. With consumers not able to physically visit stores, they'll be looking for alternate entertainment and shopping experiences. So retailers need to look at how to leverage AR and VR technology to create virtual or immersive experiences that will transform engagement and shopping. Number two, smart AI solutions like image recognition, visual search, live streaming for an more omni-channel experience. In an omni-channel retail world, having smart, intelligent technology on devices we interact with and even on the simple smartphone is going to become even more important. For instance, AI-powered shopping lens on smartphones can be used to recognize any product in the real world or on online platforms like Instagram, and then showing immediate matches in which is actually very common today and becoming a lot more useful. These shopping lenses are also embedded in smartphone camera lenses today, offering AI features that can be activated with a simple touch of a button. Autonomous stores and robots for contactless shopping experiences. Now, shoppers will be very conscious in limiting interactions with other shoppers in stores as part of social distancing. So, self servicing solutions powered by AI, facial recognition, and self checkout can make both in store experiences better for consumers. These autonomous solutions can also integrate both online pre-shopping behavior, like product search, with store-based experiences like appointment-based shopping or self-pickups as part of a seamless experience. Personalized recommendations to optimize for shopper preferences. Now, COVID-19 will continue to disrupt normal buying behavior and shift more purchases to online means. That means even more data and compute power required to understand the household and shopping behavior. Now, how do you differentiate personal shopping from household shopping? This is where smart algorithms and analytics comes in, understanding consumer preferences, their buying patterns, their buying intent, and offering them smarter recommendations for different members of the household. Let's talk about how AI vision solutions can help transform retail. Uh, and I'm going to share with you experiences and examples about how ViSenze have helped retailers and brands cross the gap and the divide between the online world and the offline world. Retail innovations, for instance, 3D product virtual sampling. Now, this is already made available in our shopping lens where it combines edge AI and computer vision. It provides a shopping lens for any products. There's no need for keywords. Products comes with 3D files to showcase the 3D product for virtual sampling and is natively embedded within the AI camera lens. So this is available today if you were to activate any one of these AI powered shopping camera lenses on the 5 OEMs that I've mentioned. Retail innovations number 2, in-store live product scanning that is integrated with the store CRM system. Again, it combines edge AI and computer vision. When you walk into a store itself, you are able to use the live product scanning feature on the mobile phone itself in an in-store mode to scan for products while you are in the store. And this is integrated with the store CRM system such that consumers are able to find availability for their sizes, stock availability for that model itself while in that particular store. And they can make a request where the product can be brought to the customer in the store for virtual tryouts. The benefit of this is that it allows for lesser person-to-person contact within the store if the shopper doesn't want to approach a store associate for safety reasons. Of course, the consumer can search to a digital store mode to browse online whenever and wherever he or she chooses. The next retail innovation that we have done is to combine visual search and AR experiences into one seamless customer experience. It combines Edge AI and computer vision again. It detects toys in any 360-degree angle. Once detected, it triggers an AR animation effects immediately, and it brings the toy to life. Now, this allows the kid to experience the animation effect in a safe environment. This is something that we have done with a toy manufacturer, and it is currently live in Europe as well as Russia. Stores can also use visual merchandising solutions for shelf display compliance. And this is now currently used for shelf virtualization for virtual stores. Again, if you can't bring consumers to the store, what can you do as a retailer to bring stores to the consumers? So this is used to virtualize stores in the real world into a virtual store. The solution detects and automatically tags products on shelves. And because it is now virtualized, it now offers online product alternatives or recommendation made available on online platforms, either on the shopping website or through the app itself that the retailer has. Now, computer vision solutions can be used in retail in a number of ways. As I shared with you, it can be used in the store, it could be used online for product search and discovery, it could be used in retail operations, or it could also be utilized to create AI-powered tools and applications on mobile handsets. So I've shared with you some examples of how AI solutions as well as computer vision has been used to help brands, retailers, and marketplaces address the challenges posed by COVID-19 in a new normal world going forward. If you have any further questions, I'll be happy to take them, or you can email me directly. Thank you very much.